Hey guys, it's Billy here again. This time coming at you with a video. 5 bands that I like that the VC doesn't really show a lot of love to. You know, maybe it's 5 bands or more that I really am into. Not necessarily underground, obscure bands, because we all have those. I tried to pick, bands that people had heard of, or if you're into a particular genre, you definitely would know these bands. Because it would be too easy to pick bands that nobody had ever heard of that you like. But 5 bands that everybody should know or are well aware of that maybe for some reason or another doesn't get a whole lot of love in the VC. So like I said, here's 5 bands or maybe 6 that that I really dig. That hopefully you guys will dig as well. But who knows? Probably not. That's the whole point of this thread response. So this was actually posed by, I think, Brandon, because the 5 bands that the VC loves that you hate was going around, and Brandon kind of put a little spin on that, and I thought it was very cool. If it wasn't you, Brandon, I apologize, but I think it was you that kind of put this spin on it. But anyway, whoever did, thank you. It's a great spin, great topic, subject of discussion. So I'm going to start off with the first one here is Bob Seger. Bob Seger, I don't see getting a lot of love in the VC whatsoever, whether it be Bob Seger or the Bob Seger system. I absolutely love his stuff. So you've got the Seger system here with the Ramblin' Gamblin' Man, which came out in like 67, 66. I'm not sure exactly. The late 60s, mid to late 60s. And then, of course, Bob with the solo and the Silver Bullet Band coming out in the early 70s and so on. I think he's actually on a tour right now. They're calling it a farewell tour or whatever you want to call it. But I would probably like to go see that. I haven't heard if he can still sing the songs in the original key and still do it, but I might check that out because I love Bob Seger, and like I said, he doesn't get a whole lot of love in the VC. Moving on, another band that I love, and they're from right here, close to me. From Champaign, Illinois, REO Speedwagon. This is High Infidelity. This one has all the stuff on it. Don't Let 'Em Go, Keep On Loving You, Follow My Heart, which is awesome. Probably the best track on the record, and that's saying something with songs like Take It On the Run and Keep On Loving You. But Follow My Heart is unbelievable. It's a great record. It's an awesome record, and I love REO Speedwagon, and I don't see them get a lot of love in the VC. I mean, even the old stuff, I do prefer the Kevin Cronin lineup of REO, but even going back to like albums like you can tune a piano but you can't tune a fish, or Live, you get what you pay for, or you get what you play for. There's so many good stuff, good albums in their catalog. I just dig them. Another one here going on the country side. We're going to mix this up for guys who aren't really country or aren't really rock. We're going to mix it up a little bit here, but this is Jamie Johnson, and this happens to be his masterpiece here, That Lonesome Song. This is just a brilliant record. The story behind Jamie is he came out, being from Alabama, very much true to country music's roots and honky tonk, kind of in the same vein of a Merle Haggard or a not a George Jones, but a Vern Gosdin or Keith Whitley, even Hank Cochran, Lefty Frizzell. Those guys. Jamie, he has a little bit of a newer edge to him, but he keeps it very country. He had his first record was released in 2006, and didn't really do so well, but I actually love it. It's only been released on CD, but I wish they would. I would kill for that thing to be released on vinyl. anyhow, he was dropped from his record label after that, and he had all these songs in the can for this record, and Mercury, or whoever the label that he was on, I believe it was Mercury, just shelved it. So he put forth his own money, went ahead and cut. These are essentially were demos that he had cut, put out, and then just with no label support, just basically had distribution. Ended up having a I don't know if it was a #1 record, but it was definitely a top 5 record. It was a Song of the Year, Single of the Year with In Color. But this album won a Grammy for Best Country Album of the Year. And like I said, it was all done without the support of a label. So unbelievable record, unbelievable artist, keeping it real, keeping it country. Jamey Johnson. One artist that I'm really into that most people don't. He doesn't get a lot of love in the VC. Another one here. Get back to some rock. I was just talking with Stavros because on one of my newer videos I had posted some Blackberry Smoke. This is a band I don't see anybody really showing or talking about. I love these guys. I have loved them for about 5 years or so. They are. Like Jamey is keeping it country, these guys are keeping it the southern rock and country alive. I have a t-shirt, one of their concert shirts that says a little too country for rock and a little too rock for country. So that describes these guys to a T. But they're unbelievable. Anyway, Stavros and I were talking about seeing these guys live, and I actually had said that they have not been able to. I mean, I've seen these guys live more times than I can count over the last 5 years, but that's just because I'm stupid and can't count very high. But they have yet to really capture the energy in their live show and the motion from their live show and put it on a record. So that's why I decided to show this one for you, Stav. It's a live, Leave a Scar live, recorded in Charlotte, North Carolina. Brilliant album. You should pick this one up. I know I said the Whippoorwill. Definitely get the Whippoorwill if you can, because that's their best album. It's a masterpiece, but this album has the raw energy of the show. It's all captured right there. So Blackberry Smoke. Moving on here. Townes Van Zandt. I know the light's going to shift again because I'm showing a white cover, so everything else is going to go dark. But Townes Van Zandt, the late great Townes Van Zandt. This is an album that I don't show too much. I don't take out very often, but it's an original pressing on the Poppy label. For those of you label lookers that as I like to call you, some of you guys just lose your shit when guys don't show the labels. But here's the record with the beautiful Poppy label on it there. But I just wanted to show that for you guys. I want to put that back in there because I don't want to leave it out for too long. But Townes Van Zandt, brilliant singer, songwriter that I just don't see getting a lot of love in the VC. Being a Steve Earle fan for the longest time, that's how I was turned on to Townes, because Steve was the biggest Townes Van Zandt fan and supporter, and spoke highly of Townes, and I'm so glad that I was turned on to his music through Steve. And then last but not least here, females in general don't get a lot of love in the VC. I mean, yeah, you see people show like Joan Jett and the Blackhearts and things like that, but female country, and in particular new female country, this is a new classic female country. Leanne Womack has such a classical sound, an amazing, pure vocal. I love everything Leanne does, and this is my favorite album by her, hands down. There's more where that came from. And it is. It was put out in 2004 or 2005, so it is impossible to find. And I've actually was able to find me a nice, beautiful copy. a few months back, and I'm so glad that I did, because I absolutely love this record. I think, Andy, I think you would fall in love with this record if you don't have it, or the CD or whatever. I think you would absolutely love this record. Her voice is just great. The songs are pure. But that's Leanne Womack. That's an artist that I love her stuff, and I don't see anybody showing any of her stuff. So guys, thanks for tuning in. I hopefully be making some more videos, and not such a big gap in between videos and then cram a bunch of videos down your neck. But guys, thanks for hanging in there with me. We'll talk at you later. Take care. Peace.